set of things he does, so it's possible. And it's also possible that they just come to listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I was thinking it'd be fun to have a jazz night on the Plaza. You know, we can have 3 events on the Plaza, and I thought, oh, that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Jazz, and that way we could have Michael Powers, and we have Green Candy, and we could have other guy, and he plays the piano. So I just don't know. You know, we don't have a piano. I don't know how you get a piano in.
He would probably bring his own electric piano.
Got it. Hi, Adriana.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's so great to see you.
Hey, like trying to eat food really quick. I was like,
No, go for it. Go for it. So, Daryl, you are coming to the retreat, right?
I plan to, yes.
Great. Okay. We're doing a painting, a facilitated, kind of like you do a paint and sip where the person walks you, the artist walks you through it. So.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Hi, Earl.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Lua.
How's it going, Earl?
Good. How you doing, Daryl?
I'm well, thank you.
Hey, Adriana. How are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Good. How is it being a new mom?
Exhausting. We attempted to do a little day trip up to Mount Rainier today. Let's just say we cut the trip a little short. So it's okay. It's to be expected, but it was beautiful out. So
yeah. Well, that's cool.
Hey, Nikki.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I did get your email with regard to the signing of the minutes. So hopefully I can sign these and the other ones. My printer has not been very happy, but I did get a new one yesterday. So I'll be able to print both and sign them and bring them in. Okay.
Sounds good.
So was everybody affected by the whole Facebook, Instagram thing? That was very weird how it was completely out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were. I think even Twitter was down like for the better part of the day. Even my website went down too. So like I think the host that I use via my website, I think something that had to do with what happened with Facebook triggered my website to go down too.
Mm. Hi, Sylvie. Oh, we've got Angel.
Hello.
Yay.
Paige is here, but it's not letting me let her in. So Paige, if you can hear me, if you can log out and log back in, hopefully it'll let you in as a panelist.
I'll text her.
Yeah, that same thing happened to me when I first attended. I didn't have any controls, and then it logged me out, and then it asked me if I wanted to rejoin as a panelist.
But you can see when people are having trouble, Nikki.
Sometimes.
Because let's see, we don't, oh yeah, Lonnie's not coming. Okay, there's Paige. Great. All right, Linda, I think we can get started.
Is Phil coming today? Do you know, Sally? I know he's not coming to the retreat.
Yeah, I didn't hear back from him, so I'm not sure. I know he's in town. He'll probably pop in a little later.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see everybody. Great to see you, Adriana. So we'll move forward. So having reviewed the minutes and anticipating that there are no additions or corrections, could I get a motion to approve, please?
Approved.
And a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Okay, motion passes. Minutes are approved. Okay, so we have our joint commission meeting coming up on October 11th at 7 p.m. And I think everyone has indicated that they will be attending with the exception of Phil. Is that correct, Sally?
That's correct.
Okay. And Sally's been very good to share with us talking points. So this is an opportunity for us to, as a team, go over very briefly what we will be saying on the 11th. This meeting will be via Zoom at 7 p.m. So we'll be logging in from our computers at home.
I thought we were attending in person.
We are not.
Not anymore?
Just changed.
It has changed, Lua. Yes.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, that was confirmed for me just recently. So it is what it is. Do you know what was behind that, Sally? Has there been some?
Yes, all the city council meetings are going to Zoom for the remainder of the year, from what I understand.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's not just us.
Okay. We're not getting special treatment. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So with that said, we're just going to take the next couple of minutes to go over the logistics of the meeting a little bit. And I was going to start out by thanking council for the opportunity to speak with them this evening. And then I was going to introduce myself and say that my name is Linda McDermott, and just a one sentence about myself. I'm a retired insurance claims manager, and I serve on the board of directors for Lakeview Light and Power. And then using the agenda, there is a listing of all members of the commission. And then after me comes Earl. So if you could look at your agenda, and if you have a speaking part in the meeting, just know that you're going to go in rotation on the agenda to just provide that one sentence about yourself. I think that's important because I think that they need to know that this is a very diverse group of people who come from very interesting backgrounds and have very interesting careers, and they share their talents with the commission. So there'll be those introductions. Again, just one sentence, very brief. And then I'm going to begin by talking about the public art program. And I'm going to say very briefly, you may recall that the development of a formal public art program, that the commission developed a formal public art program in 2020 as part of their work plan and presented it to the city in July of 2020. The presentation represented research done by the Arts Commission, as well as the outcomes of a public art charrette in February of 2020. It provided a clear budget and annual timelines over the next 6 years for implementation of murals, utility box wraps, rotating art, interactive art, and in iconic pieces. I'm going very quickly here, okay? Although funding wasn't approved for the 2021 public art program, The Arts Commission used this as a blueprint for lower budget art installations like murals and signal box wraps as part of our 2021 work plan. Then I'm going to go into a discussion of what our 2021 work plan is. And it consists of the following elements: the MLK event, Reverse Parade of Lights, which will occur Saturday, December 11th. Recruitment and retention. We currently have 3 potential applicants. You'll probably see on your agenda that we have Holly Bocci, Isabella Reed, and Meredith Russell, who have expressed interest in being part of the Arts Commission. Then rotating artists at City Hall. Lonnie will, I've got her down for that. Public art, Colonial Plaza. Public art contest for the city's 25th anniversary. Public art signal box wraps. The Arts Commission retreat, which will occur at Lakewood Gardens on October 7th. A film festival planning for implementation in February of 2022. Ongoing education and the joint commission meeting, which we are part of this evening. Then it's going to go into a discussion of these in a little bit more detail. Sally?
Can you please not mention the names of the people that came to my attention? Paul Boki is a council member and Holly is his wife. And I just don't know if that's going to pan out or not. So maybe you can just say you have interest from 3 people.
Just mention the number, not the individual. Okay, will do. Okay. And then it'll be over to Sylvie. And then now we'll move into a discussion of these these items on our 2021 work plan in detail. And with that, Sylvie Johnson will discuss the MLK event. You're on mute, Sylvie.
Okay, do you want me to talk now?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. This year we're doing the MLK video project. Last year we did it and the theme was Injustice Anywhere is a Threat to Justice Everywhere. This year the theme is going to be the world in Lakewood, and I'm really excited to be part of this team that's putting together this video about the world in Lakewood. Last year's MLK video was virtual and it was a great success. It was 35 minutes long. This year we're going to have it at 15 minutes long, and there won't be a keynote speaker, but there will be several speakers talking about, we're going to focus this year on the youth and their view on what the civil rights movement means to them, and on the elderly or the people that lived through the civil rights movement and what it meant to them at the time, and how we can use both perspectives to make Lakewood community a better place for all.
Really nice. That's good. Okay.
And mention the mural. I got to mention the mural.
Okay.
And Sylvie, I would definitely let them know in the beginning that you are the one, you're the person that produced the video. You know, they don't necessarily know that. They don't know you by face.
Okay.
So I would mention that you produced that and going to produce this year's as well.
Okay. And I will talk about the mural as well, because that's the focus of it.
Okay. Did you want to say anything about the mural now, or just? Are you gonna...
Do you want me? Okay. This year, our theme for the MLK video is a mural that students put together and created, and it's the world in Lakewood. And it was sponsored by the Lakewood Multicultural Coalition, as well as our city and Clover Park School District and Pierce College Foundation and Clover Park Technical College. The mural highlights the city's 25th anniversary, and the theme is the world in Lakewood. I'll do a better job of that because I'm just reading it off of here, but I'm not going to be reading.
Yeah, I understand. So I think the main thing to remember is on that is the murals part of this, because we're talking about 2021 work plan. We're really focusing on 2021. And the mural was developed as from those meetings. The idea was presented to create a mural. And so while it was highlighted at the 25th anniversary, that wasn't the reason for it. The reason was to have students create a mural that showed, you know, kind of the diversity of the community where they could express their voices. And so Mary Moss, who is a city council member, and she runs LMCC. So you'll be essentially speaking to her. So I think, you know, it's important to give her ownership over that.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. That's great, Sylvie. So Lonnie isn't with us this evening. I don't think there's going to be a lot to talk about with regard to rotating art, Sally. So we'll just move on, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so Earl, you're up next with the Colonial Plaza Public Art. You're on mute, okay?
So as far as that goes, I mean, we kind of, so much has happened since that discussion. So, I mean, where are we going with that project essentially? I mean, is the city still interested in that happening?
So Earl, you're just speaking to the, I don't know if you can see the talking point, the one you went over last time. It's just recapping what we did in 2021 for the Colonial Plaza art and how we picked John Fleming.
Oh, the John Fleming one, not the one, not the different one where we were doing like potential people, putting in the city choosing a favorite piece of art or something like that. You're talking about John Fleming's piece.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see this, it's right here. I'll highlight it.
Oh, I just got that. Yeah, so let's see.
So you'll want your talking points in front of you for the Joint Commission meeting.
Okay. So this year, the Arts Commission implemented a new process for selecting an artist, and we were pleased to announce that we had selected John Fleming. We used 2 public artist rosters and created a short list. Those interested submitted documents and portfolios. The top selected artists were invited to an on-site orientation. From there, it was narrowed down to the 1-hour interviews. From the top 3 were paid a stipend to develop 2 designs concepts. Artist John Fleming was selected for his 2 gateway arcs, and a contract has been signed, and estimated date of installation is summer of 2022. That is going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see that actually.
Yeah, that's great. So the main thing here is that we developed that new process. Instead of just putting out an RFP, we use the 2 public shortlists and 2 public artist rosters. And then we narrowed it down from there.
Okay.
Good job. Perfect.
Okay, and so then Paige, it'll be over to you now to talk about the public art contest.
Yes, and I have the little bit of notes that was in the draft, but Sally, there's like 5 lines. So I'll say what I can, but I don't know everything. So what's there right now is, thank you very much, council members. I'm Paige Hansen, and I'll say who I am and what I do. And I'll mention that it was a new idea in light of COVID for students to be involved to celebrate the 25th anniversary. The 2 themes were love, Lakewood, and unity. And we partnered with Lakewood Sister Cities organization to reach out to Gimhae, South Korea. And if you were at the 25th celebration, you saw these beautiful pieces of art that were displayed for you to see. And it was really cool. So if there's anything else you want me to add to that, just let me know.
I think the idea behind that is just the Arts Commission was super flexible. We had to come up with a way to celebrate the 25th anniversary during COVID when we couldn't get together. And that you got this together really fast and it was very successful.
Very good. Okay. And then we talk about the future of public art. Now, I took the first part of that and I presented it at the beginning, Sally. Okay, those talking points. So in terms of the future per se, I was thinking, Lua, you know, we were both on future of public art, and I took the first part of that, but can you see the elements that are in red, Lua?
Yeah, I thought those were yours.
Well,
No.
not necessarily.
Okay.
I think it says Lua, red part.
Oh, is us?
Yeah.
So, and then, Sally, can you please, enlarge in the thing there, because my eyes are.
So then,
And
This-
I
Yeah,
did
there you
want to
go.
ask a quick question.
There
Linda,
you go.
do you think
So-
in the beginning, the idea is just to do a brief, you know, this is our 2021, these are our members. This is the 2021 work plan. These were our goals and accomplishments. And then I'll go into them rather than really going into the public art program in the beginning.
well, the only reason why I did that, Sally, is because you felt that, you know, one, it wasn't approved, and two, you wanted to drive the message home.
Okay, it just feels a little disjointed to me.
I'm happy to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I don't know how everyone else feels. I just feel like the purpose in the beginning is to just do the bullet points, and you can get the point across. This was a big deal. The city hasn't done this before, that we created this 6-year, short and long-term public art program proposal, and that will go into more detail in explaining that. Does that not seem? Because otherwise we're going into detail on this one thing and then doing an overview of everything else and then circling back to the details.
Well, the only thing I was looking at is that you captioned this, the future of public art, and the first part of that in black is the past. It isn't the future. It's a what was.
We could take that. We could take that out. Let's take that out.
And everything else is the future, is what we hope for.
Mhm.
But so that's, you know, that's why I looked at that and I thought, okay, well, this is what was, this was what was defining our actions for 2021, this blueprint.
Mhm, mhm,
And then
mhm.
talking about the blueprint being a, how shall I say, a roadmap,
Mhm.
what we did in 2021, and then discussing what those elements were. And then the future being what Lua, right, would talk about in the red. And
Okay.
that was my thinking.
Okay, I think just as long as Lua, you just, you know, start with, you know, regarding the public art program, this roadmap that we've developed and the budget, and then you can talk about that. That sounds good.
Lua, you're on mute.
Sally, can you add those, the little talking just before I say the budget thing?
Sure. Is something like that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Louis?
Okay. So is Linda still gonna read the top?
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it at the beginning, so after Paige has done her part, Lua, you will
Yeah.
join it with the roadmap for the future regarding the public art program.
All right.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have you read through that.
Okay, so regarding the public art program document, our roadmap for 2021 and future years. We're doing the budget for the program is proposed to be a combination of McGavick Day funds and $1 per capita, which increases the annual public art budget from 15,000 to roughly 75,000 annually. The Arts Commission is looking forward to a formal implementation of elements of the public art program in 2022 as the budget allows. And in 2021, the Arts Commission was thrilled to implement one mural, a joint program with LMCC and school district, and 4 signal box wraps. The locations were Springbrook, Bridgeport and 108th, Silicon Boulevard and Lakewood Drive, and 84th and South Tacoma Way. And by the way, I've seen a couple of them. They're really good. Artists were paid for $700 stipend for this work.
Perfect.
That's great, Lua. That's great. Hey, will somebody remind me what LMCC stands for?
Lakewood Multicultural Coalition.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then from there we move on back to Earl selling for the signal box wraps.
We're at Summer Nights at the Pavilion.
I'm just looking at the work plan, and we have the signal box wraps broken out separately. Do we need to talk about that as a separate installation? Okay, alrighty. So then Summer Nights at the Pavilion. So that's Daryl and Lonnie. So Daryl, you're up.
Okay, Sally, oh, perfect. You did just what I was gonna ask. Summer Nights at the Pavilion, outdoor concerts. They were a great success in the new pavilion in 2021. As many of you know, we received lodging tax allocation funds of 20,000, which was up from the previous couple of years, and that was 2,500 in 2018 and increased to 6,000 in 2019. This amount enabled the Arts Commission to have 7 concerts and some of our highest attendance numbers. This is the lineup that we had for 2020, but as you all know, because of COVID, those events were canceled. So on the 15th of July, we had Nightwave, an 80s new wave group, and they produced 340 were in attendance. The following week, the 22nd, Good Company, a swing band, had a slightly higher attendance, 350. On the 29th of July, we had Cambalache Salsa, and they received 280 to a rousing crowd. The Chris Eager Band, Blues and Rock, performed on August the 5th, and we had our highest numbers to date, 450. Rockaroke appeared on the 12th of August. Interesting to note that there were some smoke and heat issues that they had to deal with. Still in all, we had 165 in attendance. On the 19th, we had the Kim Archer Band, a wonderful R&B and soul band, and they were strong with about 400 attendees. And our final concert for the 2021 season was on August the 26th. Victims of Love, the Eagles Tribute Band, produced 230. So I missed last month's commission meeting. So if Lonnie was prepared and had kind of run through that, maybe she and I can work that out. Maybe we can, alternate either way, every other one, or I'm comfortable doing it also. It's been a pleasure to be on that subcommittee with Adriana and Phil and Patty. And it was an amazing, amazing season to put together those events, and a lot of energy and excitement in making recommendations. So that's probably what I would say if asked.
Great job, Daryl. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I'll just say very briefly that we are super excited about LIFE. The Lakewood Independent Film Expo is hosting its first event, Real Life 96. This was tabled last year due to COVID-19, but registration for Real Life 96, a independent film competition, will open on November 15th of this year, with a screening event to follow in March 19 of 2022. More to come on that, but we are super excited to move forward at this time. Okay, and then now we go to the holiday parade, which is Lua and Lonnie. And Lua, in the absence of Lonnie to share this with right now, you're up.
So historically, for the holiday parade, we have a parade starting at Park Lodge Elementary School and ending at City Hall with the tree lighting and candy cane lane vendors and entertainment and Santa visits. But last year, due to COVID, we implemented the reverse parade in Town Center with a great success. Thousands of cars drove through. Saturday, December 12th, we had stationary floats while participants drove by. Santa was on the last float with elves, city council members, all of you who were there. Thank you for being there to help us in the cold weather, handing out the goodie bags. Gave out trophies for 3 categories: most original, most spirited, best theme of floats personalized. Many floats started decorating at 10 in the morning. Can you imagine that? And then tree lighting was virtual and combined with council meeting.
Okay. Really good, Lua. That's excellent. Okay, Susan isn't with us. Is she, Sally? Okay. So,
Sorry, no.
yeah, so.
Practice, and so she's got that down.
Okay. And she also has ongoing education. And then we move from there to questions. And is there anything we are not doing that you'd like us to do? What do you feel our community is ready for in terms of public art? My only question, because does anyone have any question about the questions?
Yes, I didn't get any feedback, but this is the time. We want to make good use of the council members' time. We want to ask questions where the answers are really going to inform our work and be insightful for us. So if the question isn't accomplishing that, please, speak up.
Okay. So I guess the thing for me would be, it would be good to know who's going to ask which question so that we have a flow and people aren't like, oh, are you supposed to ask that or am I? So the first question, is there anything we are not doing that you would like us to do or see more of? I will take that question. Who will take the next?
And then are we waiting for them to answer it or before the next question or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So the next question is, what do you feel our community is ready for in terms of public art? Who will ask that one?
I can take that one, sure.
Okay, thank you, Earl.
And then the third one, that's interesting. What is, can we kind of elaborate on that question? I'm a little confused on this one. So we're talking about renting some of the spaces like in the Colonial Plaza.
The next question I have is the name of Colonial Plaza.
It's this one here. Would the city be willing to rent some of the spaces on Motor Avenue to have art gallery shows? Earl, didn't you propose that?
I brought that up.
Yeah,
Sylvie. Okay.
Who said that?
I brought that up and yeah, about renting spaces in Colonial Plaza to bring more people to the area.
That's interesting.
Don't be 5:35.
Right. What do you think of those?
I don't know. Why do I have to think of everything?
Susan, since that should be Sylvie.
It can be. Okay. I'm gonna just take this off here.
Okay. All right. The name of Colonial Plaza.
Me, pick me.
Page.
Let me do that
Okay.
one. I think I can frame it in a nice, positive way, while also pointing out, some of the negative connotations with regard to that, unless someone else would like to do it.
There's a piano player playing. If somebody can mute there, okay. And then, how does the city council see us utilizing art as a healing mechanism in our community? Who will take that one?
I
think
can
was
take that one.
Wasn't it, Sally?
Or I could take it, either way.
I can take it.
Okay.
Can you move that question up to under where I'm asking the question, because that kind of like they kind of go hand in hand. If we're asking them if they can rent space at the plaza, they might have some input about how that would be a healing thing.
Okay.
So you'd like this one moved up?
Mhm.
Before yours, Sylvie, or after?
Well, what do you guys think, before or after?
I think after.
Okay.
Sure.
And then should we put in a question about feedback from the city council of things that we've implemented so far? What their opinion is on the installed utility wraps. Can't really ask anything about John Fleming because he hasn't installed anything right now. And they're already familiar with his project because we brought it before them already. So, but yeah, what their opinion was on the 25th anniversary party and just things that the Arts Commission has done to date. And what changes they would like to propose, if any.
I did get some feedback from one of my neighbors. Okay. And it was funny. She goes, I think the 25th anniversary party was good, but they really should have had cake.
Did you tell her there was funnel cake?
Yeah.
There should have been a big cake. I'm like, okay.
Now, Sally,
You can't please everybody.
It's COVID. You get.
Now, Sally, I only had about 15 minutes to actually venture through the anniversary party because I was pretty much inside the museum the whole time. But how was the beer and wine garden received? I mean, was that popular? Was it not popular? Was there a lot of people in there, or?
From what I saw, it was popular. And
Yeah, it was wonderful. At one point it was totally crowded. People had to kind of be at the same tables together, but it was kind of cool because then we talked to people. And at one point I was looking across and it was a beautiful day and the sun was setting and there was Polynesian dancers and there was the smooth jazz playing live. And I just thought, I have never been prouder of my city. It was just wonderful. So many different folks, such a diverse crowd. And really, to me, if anyone was at that celebration, they don't need to be over-explained why it shouldn't be called Colonial Plaza. I realize it's a historical name, but our city the world does live in Lakewood, and that was such an example of it. It was really cool.
That sounded good.
Yeah, it did.
It would be good to, maybe you can say, this was my experience. What did you think? Because that sounded really good.
That was
And
great.
I got a cute picture of me and my husband and my kids all there, kind of looking out toward past the music and to the dancers. And my kids were just so happy. They were just so happy to be around people. My oldest kid, who's got special needs, just loves Jason Whalen, and Jason took our picture. And it was just, he loved seeing all the council members. It was just really cool. So I'm glad to do that, and even share that picture if I can figure out how to do that on my computer.
I was there to film a little bit of it, to catch some clips. And the one thing that really struck me was that there was so much interaction between cultures, and they were laughing and having fun and interacting with each other. And that was really cool.
One thing I have to say is I was on the city website today, and on the home page, there was an aerial view photograph of the event, the anniversary party, with Mount Rainier in the background, kind of as a backdrop over the theater, and the flag was draped down, and the plaza was just filled with people. And whoever took that photo, kudos to them, because I thought it summed up the entire event perfectly. And it was a breathtaking photo. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you, Lua, for providing all the amazing international entertainment.
Thank you for having us.
That was wonderful. And wasn't it great? It was so colorful and so festive. It wasn't just the music, it was so theatrical. I loved it. It was wonderful. My little ones were just enthralled.
Well, just think if we had it from like originally planned for, you would have seen a lot more nice, beautiful things, performances. We had to cut Sally had to cut the program short, so that's all we could do.
What was done was perfection. It was lovely.
It was.
Thank you very much. It was quite famous that day. Everybody was speaking about the 25th anniversary of Lakewood. That's what you want
Good job,
anyway.
everybody.
Mhm.
It was great. Sally,
So just the caveat to this is you will, I'm not going to be speaking in the meeting. I won't be prompting. So I'm going to send this updated one out. Please print it out and have your section highlighted.
Okay.
And again, I know you're kind of talking in bullet points because that's how I put it. That was just because I want you to use your own words and, practice a couple of times just with your own words. But again, it's just your chance to highlight to City Council. You're their only audience this night, this week from today, to hear what you've done and what you're passionate about.
okay. And just remember that one sentence to say about yourself, just so that they can appreciate the diversity of the membership of the commission. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. And then, Sally, if you don't have anything else you need to go over on the meeting, well, then we'll move to a discussion of the retreat.
Great.
Okay. So the retreat is October 7th. For those that you've signed up to bring a snack, don't forget, for those of you who haven't, please bring a snack to share. That would be great. Sally has sent out the agenda for the retreat. You should all have that. We're going to have a facilitated painting experience where we can all apply our artistic talents. And it does say in the agenda that there will be an overview of Real Life 96 film competition. I'm going to take the opportunity to go through that now and maybe just provide a couple of updates, because we do have a meeting scheduled with, is it the media coordinator, Sally, for the city on October 5th? So I'll just, with regard to that on the 5th. Anything else, Sally, that you want to talk about with regard to the retreat?
No, just that, it is facilitated, so you want to be there on time. And this is a very social, we're painting together, finger food, and so we don't have a lot of work. We aren't doing work, we're doing play. which is bonding, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Ellie, I had a question. I just want to make sure that I have the right date and day. I printed out the agenda for the retreat. It is on Thursday, the 7th, right?
Yeah, so the first one said Wednesday the 7th.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks.
And so a new one went out and it's Thursday, the
Thank
7th.
Okay.
All
All right. So now,
Oh, Linda, hey, I got a question before we move on really quick. Hey, Sally, I forgot to ask, did John Fleming attend the 25th anniversary party just to kind of get a good feel for our community?
No, he had a procedure done which prevented him from coming.
Okay, I just wanted to know if he was there or not.
Yeah.
okay. And then moving on to the lodging tax grant allocations. Sally, I'll let you take the street festivals and the summer concert series, and then you've got the PowerPoint for Real Life 96, and I'll do that. Okay. You're on mute, Sally.
On our work plan for 2022, something new is a series of events at the Colonial Plaza, very similar to the 25th anniversary that we'll get to put on. And for lodging tax, I got $10,000 for three events, so $30,000, so roughly $10,000. And I think that will be good for 3 events. That's kind of what I had budgeted for entertainment, music. One of the events is going to be a Day of the Dead event in October. And so we'll talk more, but we got $30,000 for those series of events at the Colonial Plaza. And then for the summer concert series, we got the same allocation of $20,000, which is what we got the previous year. And it's a perfect amount of money.
Great. Okay. So as part of our work plan to move Real Life 96 into 2022 due to COVID, I'm just going to share with you what was shared with the Lodging Tax Commission. I guess they are a commission. And Sally, if you can just move the slides for me, okay, if you would. I'm here today to talk to you about life, not life as we live it, but life, the Lakewood Independent Film Expo. Life is both a singular event and a sponsor of companion events that celebrate the creative process of filmmaking. At its heart, Life is a film festival, but what it offers the community is the opportunity to transform itself. Not yet. I'll tell you when. Back up. There we go. Film festivals revitalize and enhance the cultural landscape of a community. They are the place where filmmakers, distributors, and viewers meet in appreciation of the power of film to tell stories that not only have the ability to entertain us, but to change us, to empower us, and to unite us. They play a significant role in crafting a city's image as a purveyor of the arts, and in so doing, they increase tourism and economic development. Life's objective is to foster an appreciation of the creative medium of filmmaking. We're on slide 3, Sally. There we go.
Nikki's doing the slide share.
Oh, okay. By giving artists encouragement and a platform to share their vision and their talent for the benefit of the community and one another. Successful filmmakers make model citizens. They understand the importance of teamwork, hard work, open communication, decisiveness, and problem solving. Nurturing these attributes through life makes our community a better place to live. Next slide. One of the premier events of the Lakewood Independent Film Expo is Real Life 96. This is an exciting short film competition that brings together storytellers of every generation and ethnic persuasion to write, shoot, and edit a 4-minute film of their own making in the space of 96 hours. Now, you may wonder why 96, and rightly so. 96 is the year the great city of Lakewood was incorporated, and it's also the optimal number of hours it takes to create a 4-minute film. Next slide. So what is it like to be part of Real Life 96? Well, it's an intense and highly collaborative event that calls upon teams of script writers, directors, cinematographers, actors, musicians, and editors to work together to tell a story that entertains and inspires. Participants in Real Life 96 come from within and outside the Lakewood community, but registration is limited to a total of 30 teams. Team leaders are responsible for registering their teams according to one of 3 age categories: 13 and under, 14 to 18, and 19 and older. Real life details are up on the screen. You'll note that registration opens November 15th, and it will close on January 5th, 2022. But it could close earlier if all those 30 spots are filled in advance of that date. There'll be an orientation meeting scheduled for February 5th to explain the rules of the competition in detail, give them their t-shirts and other registration materials to include release documents as well. The competition actually starts at 5 p.m. on February 10th. That is when the team leaders will receive their email drop, which will include the required elements to be included in their film, which could be an action, a situation, line of script, or a prop. The filming period will run from Thursday, February 10th until Monday, February 14th at 5 p.m. All footage has to be shot within that 96-hour time period and submitted via flash drive to City Hall by 5 p.m. Monday, February 14th. Next slide. After the films have been submitted to the city, they are collated and formatted for screening by a panel of judges who will review the films for use of required elements: storytelling, acting, directing, cinematography, and editing. Films that rank the highest in these measured areas will receive awards at a screening gala event on Saturday, March 19th at McGavitt Conference Center. Next slide. The screening gala will be a theatrical red carpet event complete with Hollywood lighting, local dignitaries, and awards. Filmmakers will have the opportunity to network with other filmmakers and celebrate their achievements in film. Photographers will be on hand to capture the fun and the excitement, and the images will be shared online and in print media. Next slide. And these are the awards that will be given in the following categories. I'll let you read those. And then going forward, winning films will be available for viewing online and will be shown at other Companion Life events. Next slide. So how will Real Life 96, along with other events sponsored by Life, play an important role in promoting community engagement? Strategic partnerships with educators, film groups, other affiliated events, and volunteers will foster a deeper appreciation of the arts, which will in turn contribute not only to a sense of pride, but a keen awareness of Lakewood as a cultural playground, replete with opportunities to experience both the natural world and the human condition. Next slide. Our long-term vision for Life is that it become a destination film event, and that under its umbrella, we sponsor film contests, year-round learning opportunities in the form of workshops, master classes in filmmaking, and symposiums. It is also our long-term vision that Life generates significant revenue back to the community. And that's it.
Linda, is there a registration fee?
$50. There will be, Sylvia, yeah. We were fully funded, I believe, for the event, and so we, subject to council approval, will receive $17,000 in order to host this event, and I'm really super excited about that. That's pretty special. Now that we know what we can essentially count on in terms of funding for this event, the work of pulling it together in terms of what we need to do in order to fit within these dates, these key dates, in terms of actions, activities, what it will look like. That will be the work of all of us in order to make that happen.
Good for you, Linda. That's awesome. I'm glad it's come this far.
I am too, Earl. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
I am pretty thrilled. Thanks, Paige.
And
Okay.
you're going to do it at the McGavick Center. We're not going to do it at AMC any longer. Okay, that's right. Gotcha.
Hey, Phil.
Hi. I finally
Hey, Bill.
decided to show my face. Congratulations, Linda. I think that's going to be a really great event.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
I hope
The
so.
lodging tax, they were very much impressed.
Well, that's grand. Okay, so moving along to.
Do you have a date set for your first committee meeting? And why don't we just go through who's on that committee and who will be working on it?
Well, we do have.
Who's not on the committee wants to work on it.
We do have Lonnie Lua, Adriana, Phil, Sylvie, and Paige on it at this time. That doesn't mean that the door is closed to others. Daryl, Susan, Earl, anyone who would like to participate. Certainly, it would be a great opportunity for all of us to be able to tap into your talents as well. So.
Yeah, I could be interested in helping out with that too, Linda. I think it's a very worthy project that we're taking on.
Well, we are very fortunate, and in that we have got some very talented people at the city right now who are doing a lot of what I would call the administrative work of pulling that together in terms of release documents, putting the registration materials online, creating flyers. And on the 7th, when we have our retreat, I'll have the opportunity to share with all of you what comes from this meeting with the media consultant at the city on the 5th. And then perhaps we can just take a few minutes to talk about when we would want to meet as a subcommittee and what are the important things that we need to focus on right now in terms of getting the message out. I'm especially concerned about getting the message out to students and having students participate in this event. I am so, I guess, in awe of the talent of our young people in terms of how they use their phones, just their phones, in order to create video and send a message. But as a commission, we need to think about a theme. We need to think about a lot of things for this upcoming event in order to make it meaningful. Sally?
I have a question. One of the reasons we had that registration cost what it was to cover the cost of the event. Now we've got the lodging tax, which I believe is more than enough. Can we have a really low student rate so that more students can participate? Because
I was about to mention the same thing. Thinking about the demographic of a lot of our families, that's a lot of money for students to pay for a registration fee. So if that's something that we can really think about.
Yeah, I think that that's a great idea. So maybe these are some of the things that we can talk about in a little bit more detail. I think the thing that we just need to be very mindful of is that we can only support 30 teams. And if you're talking about 30 teams that have the responsibility of crafting a 4-minute film at a screening event, that works out to be 2 hours, roughly the time of a feature full-length movie. And so as much as we would like to be able to have perhaps more people participate, for right now, that's what we're able to support. So I just throw that out there for your awareness at this point. But we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail at the retreat on the 7th, just to update and then get a meeting time and maybe talk about some things that are important as a group that we would like to see as key elements of that event moving forward. Okay. And the fee will certainly, yeah, being fully funded, maybe that's something we could waive for students. Okay, so moving on.
Madam Chair, I'd like to be excused for another meeting, please.
Certainly.
Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you at the retreat.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay.
So Public Art Committee report. Do we have something, Earl, that you'd like to share regarding the Colonial Plaza utility box wraps, next steps?
We do. I think we've been approved for 4 more this year, which is amazing. And last month at the last committee, at the last meeting, Lonnie had presented the proposed locations that I had put together throughout the city. And then Sally had then forwarded that off to John Howe to get a breakdown over which is the most highly trafficked areas. So Bridgeport Way and 100th, basically where the Chick-fil-A is, that gets the most traffic. You're looking at a combined traffic of almost 35,000 people, basically. And that's pretty incredible. And not only that, that box is very visible as well. I'm not sure if, let's see if I don't have ability. Sally, do I have ability to control the screen, or is that all Nikki?
Nikki could do a screen share for you.
Let's see. Let me pull up that PowerPoint.
Earl, you should be able to share as well.
Okay. I'm not able to pull it up for some reason. Here, let me get through it some other way. Oh. Hold on, sorry.
Well, while you just for those of you who weren't here, we originally decided to do the signal boxes. Well, the priority was on kind of underserved areas and maybe areas that didn't look as nice. And so that's why the city manager really wanted to prioritize Springbrook, and we did that. And then we were going to go to Tillicum, but there aren't any signal boxes there. And
no,
same was true of the other lower income areas that we looked at. So, a lot of roundabouts are going in. So then the suggestion was the highest traffic area. I think, Paige, your term was, the biggest bang for our buck. So there's 4 locations. Why don't you just read through the locations?
Yeah, let me just do that. So there's going to be 4 locations. So the Bridgeport Way in 100th Street, that's going to be, oh, here, I finally got it. Let's see. Okay. And then, so Bridgeport Way in 100th Street. That was, oh, there we go. This is a very visible corner and the most highly trafficked out of all the ones that I proposed. And what's great about this box is that you can see it from all different angles. So there will be tons of traffic, 35,000 people that would be able to actually witness the signal box wraps, because I think a lot of the community is really starting to take notice of them, but I think with these next proposed 4, there's going to be even more. Gravelly Lake Drive in Nyanza, that is a highly trafficked one as well, but it is obscured a little bit by vegetation. So it may only be highly visible for motorists that are coming directly down Nyanza Drive. And it may not be so visible from people going back and forth on Gravelly Lake Drive. So we may want to reconsider, even though it's a highly trafficked one, we may want to reconsider that one. Stillicum Boulevard and Far West, that's going to be at, let's see, that's going to be at the edge of Stillicum Park, Fort Stillicum Park. And where is this thing? That one actually receives, where is that one? Whoa.
I'm sorry about that. I'm muting.
Silicon Boulevard and Custard, Silicon Boulevard and Far West Drive right at the edge. That gets about 24,000 people. And that is incredibly visible traffic signal box as well. And then Gravelly Lake Drive and Wild Air. I really liked this one because I pass by this one almost every day. I think a lot of us do. It is just kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere. All angles of it are very visible to everybody driving by. That one gets about 21,000 motorists that go by it daily. And as far as the other ones, Washington Boulevard and Vernon Avenue, that's going to be a roundabout. Same thing with Edgewood. And then I think one of the other 4 proposed ones would probably be let's see, Silicon Boulevard and Custard Road. Every time I drive by this one, I completely envision this utility box wrapped because it's got a beautiful little park setting. It's on that little triangle and it's a heavily trafficked area, visible from all corners of that traffic signal box. And that gets about 18,500 people that kind of go by through there. So it seems like, out of the 4, it would be great if we could I would propose maybe doing Bridgeport Way and 100th Street, Silicon Boulevard and Far West Drive, Gravelly Lake Drive and Wild Air, and then even maybe Silicon Boulevard and Custard Road. The only other one that I would probably even take into consideration, I think, is the one on, this one. It was hard for me to kind of find communities in Lakewood that wanted some vibrancy, but that also had traffic signals. There's not a lot of neighborhoods that actually have a traffic signal. And so then I thought, well, I was walking on my walk through the city one day, and I thought that this would be a good candidate. It's very visible. It doesn't get a ton of traffic, but it's in an area that could definitely use some vibrancy to it as well. And that's like right on the corner of right across the street from what's the school I'm thinking of? And right on the corner of going into St. Francis Cabrini. And so that one probably gets about 17,000 people going through it, daily traffic. And that's the volume on that one.
And you know what? Since that picture, it's been tagged really bad.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what are your thoughts on, that's one of the lowest ones on the list, but I don't know. I also think I think it should be eligible for maybe being one of the, but that's just my opinion.
Isn't there one just located right up the street off of Is that Bridgeport?
108th, there is one on 108th and Bridgeport. Yes, that was one of the first generation ones that we installed. You are correct. Just right up the street.
And Earl, I would say I would defer to your committee to drill down on this, but this is
Sure.
a good overview for everyone and they can share their opinion if they want, but this will be the work of your subcommittee now to meet. But I would encourage you to get going because by the time you get the artwork, it just all takes a little bit of time and we want to.
Of course. Yeah, I'll send out a meeting invite this week and probably the next couple of days.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's an exciting project. It's been very fun and I really enjoy the artists that have actually contributed.
Thank you. Linda,
Sally? Oh, sorry, just a quick question. Do all of those subcommittee meetings still have to be public meetings as well?
I can't hear you, Nikki.
Do all of the public, do all the subcommittee meetings have to be public as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Nikki would have to coordinate the Zoom meeting for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Linda, you're muted.
And we just have a recap now of the 25th anniversary celebration. Paige, you have some lovely things to share. Can we hear from anyone else who was there present? Bill.
Yeah, I'd like to say that the grand opening of the Ivan exhibit, which was sponsored by Earl at the Lakewood History Museum, had record attendance. It was a constant flow of people all day long. So that's been a great addition to the Lakewood History Museum and its presence in the Colonial Center there. So a tip of the hat to Ivan and Earl. And if you haven't seen it, yes, come on in and take a look at it. There's a lot of other things going on inside the museum. Also, this coming weekend is the opening or the only weekend for the Phil Martin Book Festival, the FAB. It'll be 8, 9, and 10 at Gavick Center. You're all invited. It's absolutely free. And on Sunday, the films are going to be hosted by the chair, Linda McDermott, as Phil is going to hop an airplane and fly to Iceland to do a little swimming and sunbathing.
Phil, on that note, I know you're busy with that. We do have everyone attending the retreat but you. Is there any chance you can join us from 3 to 6, or are you just too busy with your event?
It's going to be tough, but believe me, I wish you all well. I mean, I wish I could be there. If I do break up, we're going to be setting up at McGavick, and to fly out to Iceland, you got to get COVID shots in a certain time frame. So I've got an appointment, but I will try to stop by.
You can make fun of our paintings.
No. Well, it's a good thing because you'd really make fun of my paintings.
Okay.
But I will make a serious attempt to stop by.
Oh, that'd be great. Does anyone else have anything else that they'd like to share about it? Paige, did you want to add anything else or?
No, I mean, I think, and we ought to, maybe we'll try to figure out a sentence to put in there about the fact that, people were asked to mask, and I am, like a lot of us, trying to adjust to the idea of life with a mask on and how I can relate, because I am a smiler. Half the things I say, I deliver with a smile, and I'm trying to figure out how I can deliver the things I say without a smile, but a smile with my voice or my eyes. And, people are taking them off. Anyway, it was just interesting, just to maybe sip your wine. You could take your mask off and feel okay about that. I think everyone's still kind of figuring out how to be out in the world. I'll figure out a way to say it nicely, and quickly, but we can't discount that as a commission, because we're all transforming. Every entity is transforming right now to a future that our kids are totally, by the way, adjusting to. My kids are masking up for, 6 hours a day, like troopers. So I don't complain, but I'm just saying, there's transformation happening. I'm singing at church at playing bass with my mask on and, into the microphone. So, we're all doing the best we can. And I'm not saying that as a defense thing, but, I know art and the world and being outdoors is going to be really important moving forward. And I want to just mention that as a commission, we're doing that. And you could see that at the 25th anniversary, we're looking at our neighbors with our eyes, And this kid came right up to my family. We were sitting in the grass having some dinner. And he's like, this is such a great event. You guys live around here? And we're like, yeah, we live in the neighborhood. And he goes, where do you live? He goes, oh, I live right over there across the street. We should do this all the time. This is just wonderful. I said, well, we will, we're still digging out of this COVID crisis and in it and trying to figure out what life's going to be like. So
I think those quotes are really nice, those firsthand quotes. If you mention anything about the mask, the only caveat to that is you may want to say per the county regulations, everyone is required to mask or something to that effect.
Too, in line with that page, the events at the Colonial Center, I know that the council has expressed a real interest in making use of that space. So your firsthand account of this person who came up to you and said, we should do this more often. It plays right into that line of thinking about how important it is to be able to connect with community through this, through whatever we end up calling it, the Colonial Center or some other name.
The People's Plaza.
On that note, I guess I thought with lodging tax, because the city council really wants to do events there, we might get funded more for that. But if it comes up, we may want to say, we were looking forward to doing 3 based on the lodging tax fund. So they hear why. Events cost money. And so we got recommended for that funding. So you could mention something to the effect that money that the lodging tax recommended, we can have 3 events at this point.
Yeah, that's great. Phil.
Yeah, I'd like to, going back to the Plaza thing, I got to give credit to Earl because it was his idea, and there's a lot of feelings about that, but he came up with a suggestion that I thought was very good, Heritage Plaza. It would kind of appeal to both sides. It keeps the old and also the new in terms of its heritage. So thank you, Earl.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone have anything else that they'd like to share for this evening's meeting? Okay, well, thank you all for coming this evening, and we will see those of you who can on October the 7th, and I'll look forward to sipping and painting, probably more sipping than painting. But
you better be
looking
sober when
forward
I
to
get
it
there.
nonetheless. And everyone have a really great evening. Okay, bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sally,
Yeah.
what's the count for how many people are going to show?
At the retreat,
Mhm.
11.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you want a dozen, don't you?
Just want to know how much to bring.
Hmm.
Okay, have a great week, guys. Thank you.
Cheers to everybody.
Sorry, thank you. Sylvia, I was going to say it's just finger food.